Hello and welcome to Question Hour, a unique show on Rajya Sabha TV where you get you the latest of the questions asked by the members of the upper house in the 250th session of Rajya Sabha. I am Rajat Kain and I'm joined with my colleague Kriti Mishra.
Thank you so much, Rajat. So let's take our viewers to important questions and answers in this edition of Question Hour.
Let's begin the show. Well, the first question of the show that was asked by member Prabhakar Reddy Vemareddy from Ministry of Commerce and Industry. He asked whether it's a fact that India is the fastest growing e-commerce market in the world.
Well, the government says that there's no such data that is maintained by the centre. However, as per the National Association of Software Services Companies, which is NASSCOM, the Information Technology Business Process Management Sector in India Strategic Review 2019 report, Indian e-commerce market registered an estimated growth of approximately 24% in 2018 to reach $43 billion. The government further says that a draft e-commerce policy was put in the public domain on February 23, 2019 for comments suggestions. The comments and suggestions from over 120 stakeholders, which included companies, industry associations, think tanks and foreign governments, have been received. The draft national e-commerce policy identifies the challenges and lays out strategies to overcome these challenges. These include strategies to promote infrastructure development, anti-counterfeiting, anti-piracy, consumer-oriented services, authentic reviews, ratings and prevention of sale of prohibited items and resolution of regulatory issues. The government further says that draft policy aims to attain a holistic and inclusive growth, thereby access to technology extends to every section of society and every corner of India. Outreach of Indian entities can be further enhanced by promoting export of their products through e-commerce. The draft policy also seeks to put in place strategies to achieve this objective or target. While Digital India is already unfolding, the draft e-commerce policy also aims to accelerate its pace by providing a facilitative ecosystem. Let's move on to the next question that has been asked by member Syed Nasir Hussain, and this one is to the Ministry of Communications. And the member has asked the government whether it has achieved its target of computerizing all the post office across India.
Replying to the query, the government gave an elaborate data and said that all 25,564 departmental post offices, including both in rural and urban areas, as per the annual report of 2016-17 of Department of Post in the country, have been computerized. Under the IT modernization project, Department of Post has implemented digital advancement of rural post office for a new India, that is Darpan project, in June 2016, whereby branch post offices were provided with SIM-based handheld devices in rural areas of the country for carrying out online postal and financial transactions. Out of 1,29,975 branch post office, a total of 1,29,688 branch post offices, have been rolled out under Darpan as on date. Replying to the supplementary query, the government answered in affirmative, saying the data in respect of departmental post offices is published in Annual Report 2016-17 of Departments of Post. In subsequent annual reports of the year 2017-18 and 18 and 19, similar information is also published. Updated information on Darpan has been published in the annual report of 2016-17, 17-18 and the year 2018-19. The annual reports are also available on the official websites of Department of Post on the Government of India's website. Moving on, the next question was asked by K. Ravindra Kumar, and he asked whether the government has ensured safe storage of increased food grains procured by constructing adequate storage godowns across country, including in the state of Andhra Pradesh.
In the response, the government says that depending on the requirement in specific areas and for modernization of storage facilities, the government implements the following schemes for construction of godowns and silos for storage of central pool stocks in the country. Now, these include Private Entrepreneurs Guarantee Scheme. Under this scheme, storage capacity is created by private parties, CWC and state government agencies for guaranteed hiring by the Food Corporation of India. A capacity of 149.89 LNT has been sanctioned or created as on 31st of October 2019, including 0.88 LNT in the state of Andhra Pradesh. Central Sector Scheme, erstwhile Plan Scheme. This scheme is implemented predominantly in the northeastern regions. Government of India releases funds to FCI and also to the state governments for construction of godowns. As on 31st of October 2019, a total capacity of 2,33,600 MT has been completed by FCI and state governments. Construction of steel silos. In addition to conventional godowns, Government of India has also approved an action plan for construction of steel silos. In addition to conventional godowns, Government of India has also approved an action plan for construction of steel silos in the country for a capacity of 100 LMT in public-private partnership mode for modernizing storage infrastructure and improving the shelf life of stored food grains. Till date, location for silos with capacity of 82.75 LMT, 82.50 LMT wheat and 0.25 LMT rice has already been approved. Let's move on to the next question that has been asked by member Vaiko, and this one pertains to the Ministry of External Affairs. And the member has asked the government whether it has initiated any discussion or dialogue with Sri Lankan President on improving Indo-Sri Lanka relationship.
Replying to the query, the government said External Affairs Minister visited Colombo as Special Envoy of Prime Minister on 19 November and extended an invitation to the President of Sri Lanka to visit India. President of Sri Lanka paid a state visit from 28th to 30th November 2019 and met with the President and Prime Minister. During the meetings, the entire gamut of bilateral relations were also discussed. India emphasized the need for negotiated political settlement, including implementation of 13th Amendment acceptable to all communities within the framework of United Sri Lanka, which is consistent with democracy, pluralism and respect for human rights. The President of Lanka has said, I am the President of not only those who voted for me, but also those who voted against me, and irrespective of which race or religion they belong to. I am deeply committed to serve all the people of Sri Lanka. Well, moving on, next question was asked by member Narayan Lal Pancharia from Ministry of Heavy Industries and Public Enterprise, and he asked whether government has launched any scheme to promote electric or hybrid technology in transportation so as to reduce dependency on fossil fuel.
The reply given by the government is in affirmative. The Government of India approved Phase 1 of FAME India scheme in March 2015 for a period of 2 years with effect from 1st of April 2015 to promote adoption of electric vehicles with an aim to reduce dependency on fossil fuels and to address the issue of vehicular emissions. The Phase 1 of the scheme was extended from time to time, and the last extension was allowed on 31st of March 2019. Based on the outcome and experiences gained during the Phase 1 of FAME India scheme and after having consultation with also the stakeholders including industry and industry associations, the government notified Phase 2 of FAME India scheme on 8th of March 2019, which is for a period of 3 years commencing from 1st of April 2019 with a total budgetary support of 10,000 crore rupees. This phase will mainly focus on supporting electrification of public and shared transportation and aims to support through incentives about 7,000 e-buses, 5 lakh e-3-wheelers, 55,000 e-4-wheeler passenger cars and 10 lakh e-2-wheelers. In addition, creation of charging infrastructure will also be supported to address range of anxiety among users of electric vehicles. And moving on to the last question of this edition of Question Hour, which has been asked by member Balwinder Singh Bundar, and this one pertains to the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. And the member has asked the government whether women farmers in the states of Punjab and Haryana are not being paid minimum wages.
In the reply, the ministry said agricultural labour is scheduled employment under Minimum Wages Act 1948. Under provisions of the Minimum Wages Act, both centre and state governments are appropriate government to fix, review and revise the minimum wages of worker employed in scheduled employment under their respective jurisdictions. Accordingly, the minimum wages fixed by appropriate government are equally payable both to male and female workers, and the Act doesn't discriminate on the basis of gender. As per reports from Office of Chief Labour Commissioners, central and state governments of Punjab and Haryana, for central sphere and state spheres respectively, no complaints in respect of non-payment of minimum wages to women engaged in agriculture sector have been received in the states of Punjab and Haryana. The current rates of minimum wages of scheduled employment agriculture with effect from 1st October 2019 for central sphere is given in Annexure A. The Office of Chief Labour Commissioner Central and in the centre sphere and the state government in the state sphere are the appropriate authorities to conduct inspection to ensure implementation of provisions of Minimum Wages Act 1948. Officers of the appropriate government notified as inspectors make inspections and prosecute those found violating the provisions of the Act. Well, that's it in this edition of Question Hour. Don't go anywhere away. Keep watching Rajya Sabha TV for more.
Thanks for watching The Question Hour.